2 Kings chapter 6, verse 9 to 17. Elisha is the man of God, who sent word to the king of Israel, not to pass that place because the enemies are there. Beware of passing that place, because the Arameans are going down there. The king of Aram was at war with Israel, but every time he devised a secret plan to ambush the king of Israel, Elisha would receive word from God and warn the king of Israel to avoid that location. Frustrated and suspicious that he had a traitor in his own camp, the king of Aram eventually discovered that it was Elisha the prophet who was revealing his plans. Enraged, he sent a great army with horses and chariots to surround the city of Dothan, where Elisha was staying, to capture him. King Aram negotiate war plan to ambush Israel. His attempt to ambush fail. He discovered Elisha warned Israel of his plan. He became frustrated and enraged. He sought to capture the prophet. He sent a great army to surround Dothan. The king's plot failed, because God revealed his secrets to Elisha. When Elisha's servant woke up and saw the city surrounded by the massive Aramean host, he was terrified. He represents the human perspective, looking only at the physical threats and circumstances. Elisha, however, remained calm because he possessed spiritual sight. Do not be afraid, for those who are with us are more than those who are with them. The perspective of the servant versus the prophet. When Elisha's servant woke up and saw the city surrounded by the massive Aramean host, he was terrified. He represents the human perspective, looking only at the physical threats and circumstances. Elisha, however, remained calm because he possessed spiritual sight. Do not be afraid, for those who are with us are more than those who are with them. Version 16. This statement appeared nonsensical to the servant, as he could only see two people against an entire army. Elisha understood that God's presence and his heavenly legions far outnumbered any earthly opposition. The prayer for spiritual vision. Elisha prayed, "O Lord, please open his eyes that he may see." God answered by allowing the servant to see the reality of the spiritual battle. The mountain was full of horses and chariots of fire surrounding Elisha. The unseen reality. This physical world is not reality. There is an active spiritual realm, and that God's people are protected by his power, even when it is invisible to the naked eye. We are reminded to pray for spiritual eyes, the ability to perceive God's work, his sovereignty, and his presence amidst life's crises, rather than focusing solely on the armies that surround us. God's sovereign protection and mercy. God is all-knowing, omniscient, and all-powerful, omnipotent. He knew the enemy's private conversations and was able to protect his prophet without needing to engage in traditional warfare. God uses his power to both protect Elisha and, eventually, to show mercy to the blindfolded soldiers by leading them to a place where they are fed rather than destroyed. Faith over sight. True faith is the ability to trust in God's promises, even when the current, physical, situation looks hopeless. We are never alone. Even in our darkest or most vulnerable moments, those who are with the believer, God's presence and his ministering spirits are always greater than any force aligned against them. Spiritual warfare. We fight our battles with spiritual weapons, prayer, trust in God's word, and reliance on his spirit rather than by leaning on human strength or worldly logic. We are never alone. Those who are with us are always greater than any force aligned against us. Spiritual warfare. We fight not with human weapons, but through prayer, trust in God's word, and reliance on his spirit. Those who are with us are more than those who are with them. God's absolute sovereignty, unwavering protection, and intimate care. There is no crisis too big for his power, and no personal struggle is too small for his attention. God cares about the details of your life. When a prophet in training loses a borrowed iron axe head in the Jordan River, Elisha causes it to float. This miracle shows that God is aware of your everyday stresses and financial burdens. Spiritual realities are greater than physical threats. This teaches us to rely on faith rather than sight when facing overwhelming circumstances. Elisha prayed for the servant's eyes to be opened, revealing the mountain is filled with a vast, unseen army of fiery chariots. This teaches us to rely on faith rather than sight when facing overwhelming circumstances.